morning. This is Sean and Steve back here at Oakland Cemetery. We got another stone reset going on, and this is one of the larger stones of the Foster family. Got Robert Lee and Winfrey Gilbert. As you can see, the stone is probably depressed in the ground. As far as we know, it's probably about 6 to 8 inches. We'll find that out when we actually raise it up. So a couple of steps that we have to do is we have to dig around the base. And what that allows us to do is that when we actually set up the lifting gear, you want to make sure your stone is clear, so that way when you're pulling it up, even if you're just using a pry bar, that the stone's not going to be restricted. Because a couple things you have to be cognizant of, well actually a lot of things. Number one is safety, of course, is that this stone, if it's pinned to the base, so basically if the stone is pinned to the base and you just lift it up off the top, unless the base of the stone is free, then you're fighting against all that pressure while you're lifting it up. So you want to clear the base as well as possible, and then that way you can set up your our intent right now is we're going to set up our tripod, as you've seen in the previous videos, a chain fall and a nylon rope, and then basically lift it up slowly as we go. And then the unknown that we're kind of trying to work with is how deep is the stone, and of course how high you want to raise it up. So we'll catch back with you at on the next video. Alright, Sean and Steve back again at Oakland Cemetery at the Foster family site. If you can see, we have this amazing 8-foot tripod setup, 1-ton chain fall, and as of right now, the foundation. Want to recut?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so it's pretty windy out here, which is something you're going to work with, and so our camera just kind of went off to the side. So just going to give you a general description of what we're working with. So back to the stone. Sorry, I was off camera for a second. So what you have is, when I say foundation or base, this would be the foundation or base of the stone. This is the actual stone that you see where the name is written on. So we cleared the base as well as we could, so that way when you're lifting up, you're not fighting a patch of grass, roots, like we had some issues before, or even just dirt in general. So we tried to clear that as much as we could. We stuck a pry tool on the side trying to wedge the stone, trying to see if we get some movement. We had no luck there, and that's just because it's a very heavy stone, and it goes probably about 10 inches deep. So what we're going to do, got Mr. Steve behind the camera. So we have a piece of nylon that's wrapped around the base. We're going to lift it from one side of the stone, and then once we're able to break the stone free of the ground, once we break the stone free of the ground, then we'll actually start attempting to lift the stone up and then re-secure our nylon based off of a more secure lifting point. All right.
You don't have any hard hats down.
So I think what we have to do is let's dig as much as we can. Actually, I would say let's dig as much as we can on. Actually, yeah. This side, I'll dig it deeper, and then so that way we can actually secure the nylon maybe under it, and then go from there.
All right, I'm gonna turn the camera off.
Yep. You take this gear off. All right, we're back here at Mr. Foster's site, and it's Robert Lee and Winfrey Gilbert. So I'm not sure of the relation. but they're the Foster family. What you see here is our 8-foot tripod setup, and basically what we had to do is we got the easiest access point on the right hand side to you of the stone. So the stone, as you see right now, is sunk in the ground. This was the easiest point for us to wrap it under. So we used a tripod and actually started lifting to your right hand side. So we put the nylon straps under, we raised it up. Once we raised it up, we put some wooden wedges on the side, and we effectively had to floss a nylon rope around the side. And what do I mean by that? Is we actually used a thicker rope, but this is just for illustration purposes. Now I'll kind of show you a side view. Is that you have the stone, and we have to come in from the bottom. So I was on one side, Mr. Harmon was on the front, and he basically, and you got to be very careful with this because you still have the large stone under a load. We floss it through. It gets kind of stuck because you got a lot of dirt and debris, and so just kind of use a flossing method to where the stone or where the nylon goes all the way through. We had to do this a couple of times. We also had to reposition the tripod, and then once we were able to break free the stone of the ground, instead of being at the R on the headstone, we actually moved to the foxtrot or the F letter of Foster, and we set up our chain fall here, and we're going to start raising it up to where we get kind of level, and at that point we'll get to a point where we have to kind of hold it steady with the wedges, and then effectively we're going to fill it as well as we can, if not raise it a little bit more. So here we go. I think I did bring a bag. Oh no, I did not. It is kind of like the odd shape, so we have to use it at the base, I believe. The level, because this is all rough.
Yeah.
And then we'll do it right here off the base.
Okay. I'm gonna cut the camera off.
All right, sounds good. All right, just to give you a heads up. So what we did is we just showed you this, raising the stone up to where it's kind of level, and now we're going to actually get our leveling tool set up and then determine where we want to go from here. All right, thanks a lot.
Okay, you're going.
All right, guys, this is Sean and Steve back again. Got Steve behind the camera. As you can see, we got the Foster stone raised off the ground. Based off the stone, like we said before, we're dealing with a whole lot of different types of stones, so one stone's not going to be the same to the next, but just be ready for that. And of course, it's easier having two people instead of just one. Mr. Harmon's reset a lot of these stones by himself, so it's very tough. Even with two people, it's a challenge. So basically what we have is we have our 8-foot tripod, our 1-ton chain fall, just dealing with a larger stone. And then as you saw in the beginning of the video, this end, the left side of the stone to you, was almost level to the ground. This side was, maybe it had like 2 or 3 inches coming up. So what we did is we raised, we had to kind of put a nylon strap on both sides to kind of even out the weight distribution. And even though you may think it's distributed evenly, what we found out when we were lifting the stone, the left side to you was actually, the right side to you was, there was a lot more concrete. And so what we had to do is we just kind of have to just keep moving around, just got to be patient with it, working with it. And so now we have the stone. Basically, the goal was to get the stone from flat or flush against the ground to about 8 inches around around each corner. So right now, we've met the goal of the 8-inch. Now, because it is a heavy stone, and we mentioned this before, is that when the stone sets down on whatever sort of crushed gravel fill that you want to put in there, it's going to settle, but we're going to try to level it as well as possible. The base is it is uneven, So we're going to try to just slowly lower it, compact the dirt or the fill, and then just continue as possible, or continue on, just to make sure that one goal we're pretty confident with is that we're going to have the stone above the ground where we need it. And then the other one, it'll be a little bit more of a challenge because if it's a larger stone, is it will be leveled horizontally and vertically. So vertically time now. So we'll check in when we get leveled back up.
I'm gonna zoom in on the stone there a little bit.
Absolutely. Alright guys, this is Sean and Steve again at the Foster Family Stone. So if you can see right now we got our level. We always look at the horizontal and the vertical, as well as the alignment parallel with the rest of the stones. Might just coin that and just call it the twilight zone alignment, the horizontal and the vertical, and then we'll add the parallel. Well, so the level right here, we cleaned off. Fortunately, a lot of the surface of the stone has this rocky texture, but what you want to do is you want to find a flat surface so you can put your level on there. And we did right here. We could also use the corner of the stone. So that was level there, and just like with anything else, we had to finagle and just kind of work the stone back and forth, back and forth. Sometimes it was level on one side, but then the tilt was wrong. So if you looked at it sideways, it was kind of leaning forward or leaning backwards. So what we ended up doing, what you can do is you can kind of overcorrect the alignment. And what I mean by that is so your stone, to make it, let's say, to make it level horizontally, when it's on the chain fall or the lifting gear, you can have it raised up like that, and then when it settles down, it will level out. So it's just, once again, getting used to the ground, the equipment, and the tools you're using. And what we're going to do next is that you see a bunch of dirt out of here. So what we did is we filled it with harder material. That, and what ends up happening is that the fill that we're using is like rocks, bricks, and whatnot. Just simply not dirt. Once the stone is set, we're going to get all this dirt, fill it in, pack it as well as we can. And the weather alone will just kind of let the dirt pack in, and over time, if we need to fill it, we'll go ahead and fill it. And then sometime here in the future, we'll give you a final look at the Foster stone. But if you can see, we easily got this 8 inches off the ground, square on both sides, or actually on all 4 sides, and the Foster stone is looking pretty good. All right, this is Sean and Steve back here at Oakland Cemetery. As you can see, this is the tripod, all the gear's out of the way. We got some just dirt surrounding the base of the stone. So this is back to the Foster Family Stone. The main intent, as you remember before, the left-hand side, as you're seeing it, was pretty much level to the ground, and the right-hand side, as you see it, was pretty much flush to the ground. So or maybe it's a couple inches off the ground. So our goal was to basically raise the stone. Definitely easier said than done. And then make sure is what we decided to is that we're going to go 8 inches from the ground up around every corner, and that's what we considered level. Of course, we checked it with the level, the horizontal and the vertical, and then we also made it parallel to the rest of this row. And then over time, we filled as much dirt as we could all around the stone, and then as a couple days of rain come through, that will kind of further pack the dirt, and then of course it will also wash the stone. And we're going to do a couple before-after pictures, and you'll notice that the stone will get cleaner and cleaner over time. So that's the Foster Stone reset here in section 5, and until next time, we'll see you later. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comment section below, and we'll do our best to address them. And give us a like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.